Hello and welcome to the Narc Alert, the channel where we look at YouTubers and others to see if they demonstrate any traits that fall within the spectrum of narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. These videos are for fun and entertainment purposes only, strictly my opinion, and remember, please don't send any snark to our possible narcs. So key points to remember: messy fun and not a diagnosis. Hello, hola, bonjour, hey y'all. My name is Merc. Welcome back to the Narc Alert. Today, we're going to dive into the life of the infamous Anna Delvey. You know, the fake heiress who scammed New York's elite. We did a Narc Alert on her a couple of years ago, but I thought it might be time to revisit. Where is she now? And what does her story tell us about narcissism? Has she changed? For those who might not know, Anna Delvey, whose real name is Anna Sorokin, posed as a wealthy socialite and conned her way through the elite of New York's highest society. She was eventually arrested in 2017 on multiple counts of theft and grand larceny, and convicted in 2019. Her story is so captivating that it even inspired a Netflix series called Inventing Anna.
I might have a story. Her name is Anna Delvey, or Anna Sorokin. No one's sure. She's either a rich German heiress or she's flat broke.
By the way, 10 out of 10 highly recommended. So where is Anna Delvey now? Well, after serving nearly 4 years in prison, she was released in February of 2021. However, her freedom was short-lived. In March 2021, she was taken into ICE custody for overstaying her visa. Anna is not an American citizen. As of now, Anna is still fighting deportation back to Germany. Legally, Anna is fighting to stay in the US. Her lawyers are arguing that deporting her is unjust, given that she has an established life and many connections here in the United States. They've also highlighted her contributions to pop culture and efforts to rehabilitate herself. We question their authenticity. However, her status remains uncertain, and she continues to face the possibility of being sent back to Germany. For now, she's living in a small one-bedroom apartment in New York, in Manhattan, under house arrest with a bejeweled ankle monitor. Public opinion on Anna is very divided. Some people actually admire her audacity and see her as kind of an anti-hero, while others think she's a manipulative fraudster narcissist who deserves no sympathy at all. This dichotomy has only made her even more notorious, making her a persistent figure in media. But let's dive a little deeper. Despite being in ICE custody, Anna has managed to stay in the public eye. She has been seen hosting many fabulous events at her tiny one-bedroom apartment, including a lavish birthday party that she held for herself. She's been quite active on social media, although that seems to have died down recently. She was sharing updates about her life and legal battles on Instagram. She's also launched a podcast called Anna Delvey's Audio Diary, since now ended, where she discusses her experiences, thoughts on fame, and ongoing legal issues. She did the podcast while under house arrest. From detention, she remained defiant and continued to build her brand.
Do my own podcast for a while. I think I wanted to start recording in jail, actually, over the jail phone. Because, there are some rappers who record whole albums from being incarcerated, while being incarcerated. And I was like, why not record a podcast?
I feel like you're a real New Yorker. Like if there's a place where you can claim, I feel like it's here.
Although the podcast and the Instagram have both faded into relative obscurity. In addition to her podcast, Anna has ventured into the art world. Good Lord. She's been creating and selling her own artwork, which she describes as a way to express herself and comment on her experiences. Her pieces have garnered significant attention and have been showcased in galleries with some fetchingly high prices, which of course Anna has set herself. Anna's particular traits of narcissism would be that she's characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance.
I think it's pretty restrictive. I think there's no reason that I even should be on it, but people are so quick to say, oh, like if they see me, I don't know, having people always like, oh, she's making a joke of house arrest, but nobody's questioning. It's like, why should I be on house arrest to begin with?
Well, I've sold quite a lot of prints of my artworks that I've made earlier this year, and I'm working on a bunch of other projects. I'm working on my book, my podcast, my dinner series, my clothing line, but everything's in the works, so everything. I've sold like a lot of prints. We sold like, I don't know, over $300,000 worth of prints, which go for cheaper. I think they start at $250 for like a print for a 9x12. And we sold a couple of originals, I would say around 7 maybe.
A deep need for excessive attention and admiration.
Well, I spent kind of the most of my adult life in the city, and like I think like so many of my friends are here, and I have so much going on in the city. I just like the thing is, if I leave, I'll probably like be banned for the rest of my life, and like my criminal case is still on direct appeal. I just like have to be here.
The people who think I'm interesting, or people who want to go on my podcast and listen to it, that's great. And, it's been pretty popular, and I have a lot of people who have so many episodes now lined up that I'm so excited to release. And it's just a different way to tell your story. It's not like just me telling what happened. It's kind of me revealing a bit more of my personality and what I'm interested in, and kind of, just tell more about myself through the guests I'm choosing and the topics I choose to discuss. So,
troubled relationships and a lack of empathy for others. Her actions, from her elaborate cons to her unrepentant attitude, suggest that this is classic narcissism. In interviews, Anna often deflects blame and shows very little remorse for her actions. Her social media presence is a mix of defiance and self-promotion, further highlighting her need for attention and admiration.
Hello, this is a prepaid debit call from Anna.
Do you consider yourself a con artist?
Absolutely not.
I do not have time for this. I do not have time for you.
Anna's behavior is indicative of somebody with narcissistic personality disorder. It's hard to deny that. Her elaborate lies and manipulation techniques are very common traits. Narcissists often feel entitled to special treatment and can become extremely vindictive when they don't get it. This could explain her persistence in maintaining her facade, even after being exposed. And now let's take a narc alert look at an interview that Anna did with Forbes shortly after her release within the last year. Has anything changed?
Well, it's been really busy so far. I'm really happy and grateful that I got the opportunity to be out, and I'm not in jail anymore. I'm either doing like an interview, or I'm recording my podcast, or I'm working on my art. Yes, I've been busy so far. It's very restrictive, like I cannot go anywhere at all.
Why did you decide to stay in New York?
Well, I just love the city, and I feel like my criminal appeal is still pending, so I should get a chance to finish that.
Anna's story has captivated the public, and her house arrest would likely continue to attract media attention, keeping her in the public eye. She could monetize her story through media deals, social media endorsements, or selling art, using her house arrest status to generate interest.
Because like once you're in Europe, like nobody cares. Like all that just becomes completely irrelevant.
How do you describe yourself?
Gosh, oh my gosh, I hate that question. I don't know. I feel like it would be like just, I'm just assuming people are going to like Google me. So.
I saw some of your art. You signed it Anna Delvey. Do you go by Anna Delvey?
I think so. This is just like people kind of recognize me more, but there's no real difference. I think like both names are being used equally from what I'm understanding.
And to you, there's no difference?
No, I don't have like a split personality or anything. I don't like act different.
It comes as no surprise Anna would cling to her fabricated persona. She used her perceived status to gain access to exclusive events, luxury hotels, and financial favors. Narcissists thrive on admiration and validation. Anna demonstrated her need for attention and recognition, which she achieved through Anna Delvey.
You mentioned your art. Tell us a bit about that.
I started doing some sketches during my trial, and I kind of continued while I was in prison. And earlier this year, I created like a little collection of 21 pieces, and I had like a little show earlier this year. And now I'm excited to have new tools, and like I'm using canvases, and I had like a little party doing Miami Basel.
How much does a work of yours go for?
I think it's between 15 and 25,000. It depends on the size of the piece.
And is that your main source of income?
Yes, for now.
As we saw earlier, Anna claims to have made $300,000 from art sales. It is an interesting coincidence that she was paid $320,000 from Netflix for her story.
I'm trying to like make my story to be like, oh, I made a mistake, but I'm trying to turn this around without trying to glamorize the mistake itself. It's like, hopefully people will just take like the event of adversity and kind of like apply it to whatever like bad thing happened to them and like work from there without going back and recommitting the bad thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like there were a lot of times like before Netflix thing happened where like I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know like how long I will have to spend in prison. Like there's just so much uncertainty. You just never know what's going to happen to you. Like it might look glamorous from the outside, but yeah, there's just like so much work that goes in there, and just like so much that I have to deal on a daily basis.
Like every good narcissist, she simply made a little mistake, and always the victim, she has to deal with so much on a daily basis.
And so you would be under house arrest. You're under house arrest.
I'm trying to get some of the conditions lifted.
Okay.
But there's no guarantee I ever will. So and that's another thing. I just like never know what's going to happen. So maybe I'll be successful or maybe not.
House arrest might provide Anna with an opportunity for reflection and potential rehabilitation, but her narcissist traits could complicate genuine growth. Of course, the ever-present sense of entitlement, she's trying to get her conditions lifted, despite awaiting deportation.
Been under house arrest. You've kind of wasted no time in re-entering the public eye through many, many interviews. This is just one of them. Why?
Well, I feel like I'm going to be written about regardless. Like people are still going to write that I got released. There will still be photographers outside my house. So like I may as well turn it into something positive and just kind of channel the attention towards what I'm working on right now and try to move away from, until now the conversation has been, it's like, oh, crimes, this, that. So it's like, it's been mostly negative. So if I can use that and, kind of like give attention to the projects I'm working on now. And like also, like with my dinner series, I'm trying to like involve some social good component to it. Like I will be collaborating with some charities that immigration and criminal justice reform focus. So hopefully people will give me a chance.
Anna attempts to control narratives around her story, including her interactions with the media and her portrayal in the Netflix series Inventing Anna. Anna thrived on the admiration and attention she received from being seen as a wealthy socialite. This attention-seeking has not diminished.
Yeah, have you had any difficulties getting sources or funding, like for something like this dinner series, support?
No, not really. I'm not really looking for funding for that. So I'm working with a production company that will be filmed, and with a charity. Like I don't know, I have not been to that stage yet.
Sorokin's dinner series did not materialize as planned. Her ongoing legal issues, detention by ICE, and the negative public perception made it difficult for her to launch and sustain such a venture. For now, there are no reports that the dinner series even exists.
Kind of cut corners and kind of like be cheap on some people, it just never works. It's like you're just going to end up like figuratively paying for your choices tenfold later on. So yes, and it's always a process, and I'm okay if some of it will take longer. I'm just trying not to, I'm getting all kinds of offers. I'm trying not to jump on everything.
Still maintaining aspects of her constructed identity, she is so popular and the offers are pouring in. This reflects the narcissistic need to remain in the spotlight.
And do you have any worries about the financial pressures of hiring the best of the best?
Well, obviously we're like discussing the financials beforehand, so
Yeah.
definitely I'm way more careful now with kind of like the optics, because I feel like so many people just can't wait to like for me to just like, oh, Anna owes me $50. Like they just can't wait for me to like slip up and just like just like accuse me.
I'm going to ask you a question that you get asked a lot, but I'll ask it in two parts. The first part is, how have you changed over the past few years? And the second part is, are you sick of being asked that question?
No, the question I'm the most of being sick of asked of is like if I watch the Netflix series.
Really? Have you?
No, still did not.
When faced with uncomfortable questions, narcissists might change the subject to divert attention from themselves. They often steer the conversation towards unrelated topics to avoid addressing the issue at hand.
And I totally kind of switched my priorities, because all I used to care about like kind of earlier was very kind of like shallow and superficial, and I thought like I was so well traveled and like I knew all kinds of people, but I did not. It was like still the same like type of person, like somebody who travels a lot, like who cares about art, and I was not really exposed to the people who like get to go to jail. So it was like a really eye-opening experience, and I did learn a lot. It's like you cannot just go for something like that and stay the same.
A lot of word salad, to say nothing of consequence.
What do you feel like more people should know about you?
Well, hopefully they will realize that my intentions were never like to commit fraud or to commit any crimes, and like I've generally made some mistakes, and hopefully they will give me a chance to move on and not just like try to. I think like it happens more to women than it does to men. Like women are like being witchified a lot, like, you know, when it's like it's normal for men to like make mistakes and fail, but women are like witches and cons and like so deceiving and like
Narcissists may use the excuse that their mistakes are misunderstood or perceived wrongly due to societal biases or misconceptions. Deflection lets them avoid responsibility for their actions and blame external factors for the negative perceptions others have of them.
I don't see myself as a con artist, so but I do realize that I wouldn't even say that I ever wanted to be famous. I was just working on my project and I was trying to make something happen, and I guess it just like attracted all this media attention.
Well, there you have it, Anna Delvey's story. It's a fascinating look into the mind of a narcissist. Her journey from fake heiress to convicted felon and now social media persona just shows how far someone with narcissistic traits will go to maintain that image. Whether she remains in the States or gets deported back to Germany, one thing is certain: Anna will continue to captivate and intrigue us until we get completely bored of her antics, of course, which is 2 minutes away, I think. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You might want to grab a channel membership. We're doing all kinds of fun things in the Discord these days. Rio can't wait to see you there. Until we meet again, you know the routine, just be kind. And hasta luego.